Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is this beautiful ECM. I don't know what car it came from yet. We'll figure it out in a bit. First, we need to do some repairs to it. So this came from another shop, the automotive shop, and with these ECMs. We have 4 screws. Well, right now we have only 2 screws because it was opened before. That's going to save us a lot of time. But it also is essentially glued. There's silicone that covers it, right? It's sealed essentially, and we have a little valve over here, so the pressure equalizes. So to open these, there are a few methods. The most reliable one is when you just put it in the proper mount, right? You hook up to this part, you heat it up to relatively high temperatures. Since we have plastic over here, I would say lower than 260 degrees, but I'm not sure. And you just pull on it, right? And it should let loose. But if you don't have such a device, then what you do is you just essentially get what I do. I use these metal spudgers, right, different shapes, and I just try to break the silicone everywhere, right? But with this technique, you have to be very careful not to push it too far. So usually what I do, I just make a little mark on my tool, so I know I never push it past that mark, right? And I just, in some cases, you just have to estimate what the maximum depth would be. So in this case, I would probably just say this is the maximum depth, right? So just a tip like this. And that's how we can open it. Initially, actually, what I do, I just take a carpenter knife and I first try to cut as much silicone as I can. So I do it in 2 angles, at this angle and at this angle, right? And I just cut as much as I can. That helps a lot as well. But at the end of the day, this is relatively difficult to do and you risk damaging the board. But sometimes that's the risk you have to take. We have that silicone over here, right? This was actually, it looks like it was opened cleanly. It doesn't look bad, but I did see the pictures. The customer did send the pictures, and why can I not see this now? It should be somewhere by the edge. Is this not the ECM that was sent in the pictures? Let me pull up the pull up the message again, and let's see. Okay, we have a message here. There are a few components I knocked off when opening it, totally my fault. Besides that, the customer brought it because it was throwing codes that didn't seem to be accurate. I believe he set over 10 codes. I can get more specifics if needed. Also, you can reach me at okay. All right. So yeah, this is the one, but I remember seeing the picture of it, and it looked like it didn't look like it looks right now. Unless, oh, okay, I see. It's gonna be on the other side. Okay, there you go. Come on. Yeah. All right, so the board was removed. It's just kind of sitting over here. Is there a screw or something? I don't see no screws. I mean, I think the screws were over here. You can kind of see the... So I think there were screws over here holding the board. I'm not sure. So they're all gone. So the board should lift, but it seems like it's holding in the center. I don't want to put too much pressure on it because obviously we don't want to crack the board. But why is it holding so much? Yeah, I can see that glue over there. Yeah, it's letting loose. I'm just putting mild pressure on it. right? And just holding it like that, and I can hear the glue cracking, right? So it's a game of patience here. If you move too fast, you can break the board, in which case we're done with this one. There you go. Yeah, it's coming. There you go. Okay, so this is our heatsink over here, and yeah, there was a little bit of adhesive on it. That's why I couldn't see the damage that I've seen on the picture in the pictures, because it's on the other side, I assume. Okay, and I still can't see it. Let's get rid of this silicone over here. It's gonna need new one anyway. We can't reuse this. Okay, this is not the ECM that I've seen on Discord. That one, I guess, was different. It had a chip similar to this one. Oh, there are traces to rebuild and stuff like that, but this is not the one. The damage is here. So the knife went in a little bit too close to the board. And the main damage looks to be over here. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3 capacitors knocked off, but looks like they got knocked off cleanly. We still have pads, or at least I assume we do. Maybe this one is not so much, but once we clean it, we'll know exactly. But other than that, I don't see any issues. So let's take a look at the edge of the board all the way across, because that's where the damage is going to be, right? We have one cap missing over here. Yeah, so this was knocked off. And it looks like, I think it went along with the pad. That's too bad. And just a little bit over here. So yeah, this is very little damage. Alrighty, all the components are replaced. There was a little bit of struggle, and I think It's because I switched my soldering wire to this made in China. I mean, they're all made in China, but this one doesn't want to stick to my tip. I'm not sure what's up with that. Same temperature, only different solder. This is the similar 6337 blend that I always use, but this one seems crappier. I mean, it still works and everything, but so plus the board soaks a lot of heat, so that makes it a little more difficult. But we got everything done. Now, typically, what I do in this case is I connect it to my tool, power it up, see the thermal image, looking for anything suspicious. I mean, on these, since I don't normally work with Fords, you know, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. I do on Subarus. I know which chip should be glowing and how bright and stuff like that. Which resistor is gonna be if transmitting some current and stuff like that. On these, not so much, but it all pretty much works the same. You don't want to see a transistor lighting up and stuff like that. But for the life of me, I cannot get the pinout for it. So here's one of the reasons I normally don't work on Fords. Number one, they're super difficult to open. To get to this stage, I would already have to charge, I don't know, well, at least $50, maybe $100 just for opening and removing the board from inside, because it's hours of work. Number two, conformal coating on these is crazy difficult to remove. None of my chemistry is working on this. The only way is to just, soak it and then just scrape it essentially. And the toothbrush won't even touch it either. So the only thing that actually works is a fingernail. that actually works. But that would be hours of work to remove the entire conformal coating from this one. So we can connect to it. But I did a little bit of research, and Chad from Practical Mechanic helped me a lot with this. We don't know exactly what codes are being presented, but the customer said that, plenty of codes, which is consistent with the testimony of other techs working on these. So what we suspect happens on these is cracked solder, which results in air conditioning, the relays clicking, solenoids going crazy, that kind of stuff, and that results in plenty of random codes or seemingly random codes. So naturally, what we could do, right, if we suspect cracked solder, like perhaps on these, right, they look a little bit different now because I removed conformal coating over here. But these actually look good. I've seen some of these that seemed a little bit suspicious, but I did not see any definitive proof of any cracks. But if we have a cracked solder, it's either on one of those resistors over here, right? Well, maybe not necessarily over here, but these are the ones that transmit a lot of power. Obviously, those transistors over here. These components, this looks like, are these capacitors? Maybe not. Not sure. If there are capacitors, then the cracked solder would not cause serious issues like that. And of course, electrolytic or polymer caps, right? We could check them for being dry. If they're dry, if they don't have proper capacitance, that could also cause a voltage fluctuation, which in turn can cause a lot of subtle issues. But with the problems that I mentioned, primarily the conformal coating removal, to do a complete reflow, so I can either reflow it in a reflow oven or put it on my BGA station and reflow it with hot air or with infrared. There are a few options we can use. But to do that, I need to remove the entire conformal coating, then reflow it, and hopefully that will resolve the problem. But I can't guarantee that it will, right? This is only our suspicion that it's most likely a cracked solder, but we can't find any evidence of it, visually at least, right? Not every cracked solder is gonna have a visual cue. Sometimes we do IC 608 resoldering a lot. Well, maybe not lately, but we did hundreds of these IC 608s, and there's zero visual evidence of a cracked solder because it's actually underneath the chip that the problem is. Now, is it cracking underneath the MCU? It also could be, right? It's not the power component, it's the MCU losing connection to the output stages and causing those issues. Very possible as well, especially once we remove the ECM from the case. We don't know how it was removed, but if you put a lot of tension on the board starts bending a little bit, then the BGA is gonna take a hit, and it's gonna need a reflow, at least a reflow, but proper fix would be to reball it. So this is what I can offer, right? So right now you only owe me $50 for resoldering knocked off components and visual inspection and cleaning and stuff like that. It spent a little time in the ultrasonic cleaner. All the pins, everything is perfectly clean, right? The board obviously is perfectly clean now. So that's just $50 plus shipping, right? But if you want to at least try to resolve the problem, we can do a reflow. Unfortunately, I have to charge at least $150 on top of the $50, right? So it would be $200, which is, usual going rate for Mazda ECMs that I do, right? But on Mazda, I know exactly what I'm doing. It comes with measurements and obviously some guarantee, right? If something doesn't work, you get further instructions, you get further support, right? So it's not like you just send an ECM, get it back, and I'm done, right? We follow up. On this one, I can't offer that because I know next to nothing about these ECMs. I don't even know which car did it come from. Exactly, right? So I don't know the engine build other than what I see. So I see that it's a 4-cylinder engine. It looks to me like 4-cylinder engine with direct injection and ignition controlled by the ECM. So that's pretty much all I know at the moment. And again, do I want to specialize in Ford ECMs? Not really. With this much issues, right? Even the stupid conformal coating removal is so difficult, not to mention opening. I probably don't want to specialize in these. So bottom line, so it would be 150 for reflowing and no guarantee. It will either work or it won't work. Now, can we clone it? Also, no. We can't clone this one. In this case, what we do is we just get the replacement ECM, used ECM, and we program it in the car, in the vehicle. That's usually how it works. Now, is there a way to clone it without that? I'm sure there is. So yeah, that's all I can offer at the moment, and I mean, it's a good deal for the amount of work that is required to reflow this. 150 is a really good price, but it's because there's no guarantee. So whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. So it's not something I would recommend. Depending on the value of the ECM, if the ECM is $1,200, then yeah, it's worth it. But if you can get the used one for 150, $250, then there's really no reason to sink any more money into this. Just see how it works after, after the replacement of the components, and plus we have a little damage to the board over here, so also it is, in a way it could be compromised. It doesn't seem like it's a serious damage, and it's right by the screw, so I think it's fine, but It all depends on the availability of the replacement. There are some ECMs, especially on Fords. I had one for a motorhome. We couldn't find the replacement anywhere, and I couldn't even open it. So that was a big bummer. But there are certain types of ECMs that are very difficult to find, if at all, for Fords, some Fords. So I'll leave you with this option. If that works for you, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna pack it up, and that'll be just $50 bench fee for all this, and hopefully something has changed. Maybe. Alrighty. Thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you guys in the next one.